1986, the Broncos and the Giants played a regular season game. The Giants won 19-16. Who scored the only touchdown that day for the New York Giants?
Oh, I mean, are you guys kidding me coming with that crap? You really think I won't know this? I mean, come on. I might know every play of the whole season without even asking me. George Martin, throw to the right. John Elway thinks he's going to hit the back out of the backfield. George Martin sticks his big left hand up there, one-hand interception down the left-hand sideline, threw Elway off of him, runs into the end zone. LT wrings his neck and tackles him into the end zone. I mean, that was one of the great plays. That was a great game. And, yeah, odd that you got the Super Bowl preview. The Giants had to make I think my dad had a 3rd and 30, something like that, and hit a 46-yard completion to put him in field goal position to win the game.
He was 11 for 20 in that game. How much of what he learned facing the Broncos then allowed him to have the highest completion percentage ever in the Super Bowl when they got together again?
Well, I think the big thing he's always told me, and if you go back and watch Super Bowl 21, the Giants they changed it up. You know, during that first matchup, they tried to run and controlled the clock that way and kind of play smash mouth football, and realized the hard way that Denver was a little more physical than I think they expected. And when they got in the Super Bowl, I think Denver expected that same approach from the Giants because that's what they were. It was run the ball with Joe Morris, and then Big Phil was going to take big shots down the field to Bavaro and Lionel Manuel and company like that. That's the way it worked. Well, they came out in the Super Bowl, and they were a throw-first football team. And I think that caught Denver by surprise a little bit, got Dad going, and, the rest is history. But special day. It was 10-9 at halftime. Broncos. Trust me, we were sweating in our seats, the Simms family. We definitely were.
I remember it well. I was rooting for the Broncos. You know why I was rooting for the Broncos?
Because you're a jerk.
Yeah, because the Giants beat the Vikings that year in the regular season and kept the Vikings out of the playoffs.
That's right.
Phil,
yeah,
you jerk.
Yep.
And by the way, very
4th and
impressive
17.
for a 5-year. Listen, Chris was 5, and he processed all that information and still remembers it today. So my only question is, what the hell happened in the 35 years since?
Well, lots of retox. Burned a few brain cells.
Not enough detox, too much retox.
Right.
All right, you get the first pick.
All right. Unsung hero. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to pick a kicker because I'm going to go with Harrison Butker of the Kansas City Chiefs, just purely from what we saw last week. I know this is a first 2 weeks of the season type of thing, but, man, to not only he hit a 58-yarder earlier in the game, but then to have to hit it 3 times, 2 of which don't count, and then make it that 3rd time in which it did count, just unbelievable. I mean, we don't talk about kickers enough and sometimes how they can be a weapon to your football team, and he is a great weapon for them because once they get over midfield, they're kind of in field goal range.
And those 3 kicks he made at the end of the game, 53, 58, 58, all of them were perfect. None of them had any hesitation.
Right?
It was amazing to see it happen.
Yeah.
All right, first one for me is James Robinson, the rookie running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has been incredibly impressive in 2 games with the Jaguars. Undrafted, which that isn't unprecedented for a tailback. But he went to Illinois State. He didn't go to one of the major colleges. You're rolling the dice when you're the Jaguars on an undrafted guy from Illinois State as your starting tailback going into week 1 after you dump Leonard Fournette. And he has gotten it done. And nobody's noticed, which I'm sure is fine with him. But he's going to get his chance on Thursday night when the Jaguars and the Dolphins get together. So if you don't already know the name, get to know it now because James Robinson has it. And he's getting it done at the NFL level, and he deserves more praise for what he's accomplished.
He does. It's a great pick by you. He's been really impressive. Like, passed the eye test almost immediately, I think, for both of us, where even in week 1, I was just like, damn, all right, this kid, yeah, he can go a little bit. So, been really impressive, can make big plays, can break some arm tackles. And it's just another story. This is more evidence of this is why some teams don't want to pay or draft a running back in the first round and do things like that. Look at this guy. He didn't even get drafted, and he looks like he could be a go-to star running back in the league. All right, I'm going to go up to Green Bay. I'm going to go to Marquez Valdez Scantling. He is
unsung. We can't get his name right.
Well, exactly right.
That's unsung.
That is unsung. But what he's done for that football team, and not that he had to be a superstar, but we saw in week 1, stretching the field out, deep down the field, big target for Rodgers. Had a drop, okay, whatever. But week 2, same thing happened. He still established himself as a guy where now there's 2 weeks in a row, defenses are going to look at Green Bay and go, man, Devontae Adams is a pain, but we got to be a little careful with this 83. 83, we give them enough chances. He's going to run by you, and Rodgers is going to take a shot to him. I think that's been a great addition just to have an official number 2 in Green Bay, finally, to where you can go, all right, there's some dependability there in the receiving core. And, of course, the Allen Lazard kids helped them out too. But Valdez-Scantling deserves a lot of credit.
When the Chargers let Melvin Gordon walk away, Austin Eckler became the starting running back. And, nobody pays attention to the Chargers. They don't have many fans. If they had fans in the stands, they would be fans for the other team. But Eckler has been extremely good, and he had a great game against the Chiefs on Sunday. And he hasn't had a 100-yard game, but he has been solid. And he is exactly what that running game needs. And he is earning every dollar that they've paid him, and he is earning the faith they showed in him by letting Melvin Gordon get away. So I think Austin Eckler, a guy who, even though they aren't 2-0, he deserves more praise for what he's accomplished, and he's a guy that we need to be paying attention to, because I think especially if they go with Justin Herbert and teams are more inclined to try to take some steam out of the passing game, it's going to make it easier for Eckler to have some bigger rushing totals going forward.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. And, you would think, too, if they went forward with Justin Herbert, too, they'd find more ways to throw screens to Eckler and maybe make the game a little easier on Herbert and everything like that. But, yeah, he is some hell of a player. He really is. That size, speed, quickness, really has it all. And he's a huge part of their football team, and we don't talk about him enough. I mean, he's not unsung enough. I was going to go with, like, Stephon Diggs just because I think it's been amazing. But I know. We'll go,
Guy who gets traded for a first-round pick plus.
I know. He can't be unsung.
Hero.
I'm torn between another kicker, which is why I don't really want to do this. I'm going to go with Jordan Reid and the San Francisco 49ers. Unsung hero. Wow, what a signing by them, before the year. Because tight end position, George Kittle, very important to Shanahan, what they do schematically, his success there. Jordan Reid has been able to come in, get 2 touchdowns last week, and fill that void to a degree to where, yeah, you got to worry about him. He's super talented. I'm glad to see him having a little success. Man, the guy's been through it all with the concussions and everything, and I know he even told you he didn't think he was going to play football. He
was done.
He was done.
So we saw the 49ers in the playoffs last year. That was the spark. That was when he said, I got to come back. I got to come back, and he got reunited with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, that's been big. And I would think, again, that role continues to be a big part of their offense again this week. Whether Kittle plays or not, they'll have to be careful with him because I doubt he would be totally 100%. And Jordan Reed's the perfect guy to take a little, the workload off of Kittle.
I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley of the Falcons.
Yeah.
He has continued to be in the shadow of Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley is awesome. And I remember when Calvin Ridley got there, and I talked to him before the draft, he was working out with Julio Jones because they're both Alabama guys. And I don't think he ever dreamed he'd end up playing with Julio Jones, but he's going to be in that shadow as long as Julio Jones is there. I think he's in the process of matching the stature and the performance of Julio Jones. He's got 130 yards in the opener, 109 yards in the second game. The problem is they're 0-2, so we just write off everybody on the Falcons. Well, he's been very good. Harry Gage has been very good. Is it Harry Gage? I'm thinking Harry Douglas, 83. Every time I see 83, I think Harry Douglas.
Gage, and I can't think of his first name.
Is it Gage?
Yes.
What's the first name? I've just mashed it together into Harry Gage.
I played with a Justin Gage, and I can't get it out of my head, so I'm
Maybe
choking.
he's even more unsung because he's doing well too. Let's see. Gage Falcons, real-time stuff as we get into the final minute of today's show. Russell Gage. Russell Gage is the guy we're thinking of. I'm just going to call him Harry Gage.
All right.
But anyway, Calvin Ridley, unsung hero. Who else did you have on your list?
Well, I mean, I want to question that. I mean, it's hard to be an unsung hero when you're 0-2, but you're right. He doesn't get the credit. I had Greg Zuerlein for that damn onside kick. I mean, that was special. I wrote down Calais Campbell. I know he's traded and a big-time player, but sack last week, tipped the ball in the air, an interception, got them going in week 1. His leadership, everything there.
He had that big play week 1 where he dropped into coverage and screwed up Baker Mayfield the rest of the game, I think, because Mayfield was either seeing ghosts and or Calais Campbell
Lewarski
out of nowhere to tip the ball away.
Lewarski.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.